Come on, BTC.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 4th of November. It is 11 a.m. We have a lot to get through today. It is the day before the presidential elections in America, and all bets are off, and so are the charts. We've got a lot to get through today. We're going to go through the Bitcoin jitters, ADA, Solana, FET, Peanut. What's all that about? We're going to look at shillfluencers and the language that they use, and hopefully get all of this wrapped up in an hour. Now, as the title of the show is today, it's a huge week. The majority of what you see in the charts this week can be written off, okay? We have a macro event going on tomorrow, which is, of course, the American election campaign coming to an end, and we're going to see Kamala or Donald in the White House. So it doesn't matter. I can sit here and tell you we're going to go to 75,000 or 65,000, whatever else it might be. It doesn't matter. This few days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're going to see massive volatility. We're going to see de-risking of the markets. We're going to see de-risking of the stock exchange as well, not just of crypto. So please bear that in mind. If you are going to trade the next few days, make sure you keep your wits about you. Don't over leverage long, don't over leverage short. We don't know what's going to happen. We think that Donald is going to win, but we don't know that. We don't know what the markets are going to do if Donald or Kamala wins. So be very, very careful over the next few days, especially as we are likely to see wicks to 65,000. We might even see wicks to 74,000. We don't know, but be careful. So the show today, the first one of the week, we are also going to be streaming on Wednesday night. We're going to do a post-November the 5th election Kronos night special on Wednesday, the same time we did it last week, 7 p.m. Central European time. We're going to talk about some Kronos chain projects. We're going to talk about Wolf Swap. We're going to talk about Reaper Squad. We're going to talk about Croginals. And we're also going to talk about another project, which I can't remember the name off the top of my head. However, 4 projects on Wednesday. We are going to give away coins on the night. We're going to give away some ARI. We're going to give away some Reaper tokens. So if you want to win some free crypto, come along on Wednesday. Join myself and the Oracle as we take you through some projects that you've probably never heard of, but we try and shine a light on the Kronos chain once a month. So that's what we've got to look forward to this week. I am streaming today, tomorrow, Wednesday and Friday. The Oracle will be streaming hopefully tonight and maybe on Friday as well. We also have a few hellos in chat. Good morning, Kishan, Hidden, Mags, KB, Eugene. Eugene, you are. You're the one that's mostly going to be affected by this over there in South Carolina. And you're on the same time again, which is good. I imagine your clocks have moved as well. I don't know. Anyway, 184,500 followers. What's that? 15,000 to go. That's it. I think we might do it by the end of the year. So let's get into the charts. Let's have a look. Bitcoin, of course, has had a wobble. We're back at 68.6. We are up 0.5%. We did come down. I think we wicked below 68,000. We'll have a look at the chart in a bit. Ethereum coming in below 2,500. BNB back down towards 550s. Solana hanging on near that 164 range. Hanging on for dear life. The XRP stablecoin still at 51 cents. Tron has moved a little bit. Dogecoin has moved a little bit. But again, this is pretty much pointless at this stage, in my opinion. 24-hour gainers, XRP, Nexo, Doge, Sui, Monero, nothing really moving to the upside. And apart from maybe Popcat and ApeCoin, nothing really moving to the downside. 5%, 4% here or there. Not a lot of movement. And I'm expecting this to go absolutely bonkers in the next 48 hours. So hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Market cap still coming in over 2.2 trillion. Volume 57 billion is incredibly low for even a Monday. So that was the 24-hour volume that covered most of Sunday. We're normally in the 65 range, so probably not going to see a lot of volume. We are going to see a lot of wicks. Bitcoin dominance, ETH dominance coming in 72%. That's what I think it was on Friday as well. So not really a lot to talk about there. And again, I think we should get into the show. We do try and get all of this done in an hour or thereabouts. Good morning, Cyberpunk Danny and Eugene. Your clocks did move. That's good. It throws me out as well because some of the streamers that I watch, they stream at about 5:30 my time. And when our clocks go forward, I miss them because they cut into different times and cooking dinner and whatever. So I'm glad the clocks have all synced up again. Bitcoin, not much happened this weekend. Slight deviation from the CME close price, nothing major. Going to be an exciting week ahead. That's one thing for certain. Be careful on leverage, as I've just said. Recommend do not touch it at all this week. You're likely to get chopped up. Now, I do think I have the CME chart here. Now, we closed, I believe, at 60, was it 69 something? Let's have a quick peek at the CME charts. We're at 69.7, I think. With the gap's not here, I don't think. No. Well, we'll see. But there is a CME gap. I think the CME gap is at about 69.7. So we're a long way away from that. We're likely to go towards it. But we'll have a look at the Bitcoin chart in a minute. So the CME gap is likely to get closed. That's just under 70,000. So if you are looking for an indicator of where we could go this afternoon, I'd say we move up $500 or $600 and close the CME gap. Where we go after that, who knows? Only the orange-haired man or the orange-faced man and Kamala know. Pretty much expecting chop till the election. Again, just reinforcing this fact. We are going to see chop. We're going to see these wicks to the upside and to the downside. Matthew Hyland thinks we should hold above 65,000. That's the uptrend. That's putting in the higher lows. So again, just reinforcing the fact we're going to see an awful lot of chop. In fact, it was incredibly difficult to find anything for the X-Files today because nobody is making predictions. Nobody's talking about crypto at the minute. It's all about the elections. Now, again, this is another interesting thing. We put in the monthly lows in the first 4 or 5 days of the month, and we have done that for June, July, August, September and October, and we appear to be doing it for November as well. So if we are putting in the monthly lows today and tomorrow, 4th and 5th, that means one thing: we're going to go up. I think we're going to go up anyway because of Donald Trump. The poll question of the day in chat is as follows. Let me open up chat to remind you what the poll question is of the day. It's a very simple question. Will the election pump or dump crypto? 86% say pump, 14% say dump. What do you think? Do you think it's going to pump us to the upside? I do. I'm fairly confident in it. I mean, there's lots of people out there saying that Kamala's won. I don't know. I don't know. You know, if you take a lot of the different angles, then I think there's a lot of swing states. I don't think Trump's going to win 300 plus seats or whatever it is. I think he'll get 270, 280, and I think that's enough, isn't it? I think he only needs 270. Finally, then, again, Hasbulla. You've probably heard of that little chap. He is he makes little videos and he's a meme and things like that. He is about to take over the crypto world the same way he took over the UFC. Just a gentle reminder to you all, under no circumstances should you invest in any coin promoted by any influencer or celebrity or film star or music star. We've shown you time and time again they go down 99, 95%. So whatever that young chap, Hasbulla, is going to launch, ignore it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Right then, let's get on to the Monday charts where we have a quick look at what is going on in the world of crypto. We have got this DXY. Now, we came all the way down. We broke up. We broke above the bull market support band. But look, we are starting to break down. The election is not just going to affect crypto. It's going to affect the stocks. It's going to affect the S&P, the 500, whatever you want to talk about. It's going to affect them. It's also going to affect the global markets, and it's going to affect the dollar. Okay? This is likely to do this over the next few days. Okay? Depending on what happens, what the noise is, the exit polls, all those kind of things. So the DXY is coming back down again. If it comes down to 103.1, it's just going to come down to the bull market support band. Probably find some level of support there and move to the upside. But there isn't really an awful lot we can do right now. Go through the motions for the next 2 days, and then Wednesday night we can really start to talk about it. And again, Bitcoin dominance. I've got my own little Bob Ross squiggle on here, which shows us going to about 61.2. We're already at 60.4. Okay, we've come down 1%, but we're still over 60%. And we are only at the beginning of November. 2 more months to go before the end of the year. Yes, we could break down in December. Yes, we could break down in January. There is no hard and fast rule as to when we break down, but we are starting to see maybe an acceleration. Maybe we start to see this. and maybe we go even higher, and maybe we go to 62%. Who knows? But at some point, this is going to happen, and we are going to break down, and we're going to break down rapidly. So keep an eye on the DXY, keep an eye on the bull market support band, the Bitcoin dominance. Keep an eye on them, because they will give us an indication as to the direction of where crypto is going to go, because they are not directly correlated. The DXY could break down, and a week later, Bitcoin could pump. It's not directly correlated. Bitcoin dominance, again, once Bitcoin dominance starts to break down, that is kind of directly correlated to it. If Ethereum goes on a mad surge, that's going to affect Bitcoin dominance. If the alts go on a mad surge, that's going to affect Bitcoin dominance. I know Ben is waiting for the alts to absolutely capitulate now. Some of the YouTubers are starting to talk about the breakdown of the alts, what you should do. My advice is very simple. You pack your bags for October, you ride it through, okay? You get everything you want to buy in your bags in September, and then you watch for the volatility throughout October, November, December. If your alts go down 20, 30%, who cares? You're already prepared. What you don't want to be doing is getting to December, and let's say Bitcoin is at 75,000 at the start of December, but Ethereum has suddenly broken 3,000. It's starting to go towards the upside. You don't want to be chasing it. You want to already have the bags packed. If you want to have one Ethereum in your bags, have it in September. It doesn't matter what happens in October, November, December. It's noise. If you're not going to sell until the end of the bull run, you want to try and get a cheaper price than chasing the pumps. Chasing the pumps is the worst thing you can do. So get your bags packed and then enjoy the ride. It's very simple. You're on the roller coaster. It's going up. Okay? That roller coaster is going up. You've got all that pent up excitement. You're all going to be millionaires. You're all going to be degens smoking cigars this time next year. So why does it matter what happens in October, November, December? Have some money on the side if you want to buy a dip. But if your bags are packed now, you shouldn't be worried. So Bitcoin goes under 68,000 as crypto markets falter ahead of the election. I don't know whether falter is the right word. I would use the word de-risk. According to betting markets, the US presidential election has moved to a 50-50 race. Again, I do not believe that for 1 second. Markets hate uncertainty. Now, there is actually a chart which could show you why we have broken down. And there is a chart that shows you the odds of Trump and Kamala winning the election. And they were going in their separate ways. So they were kind of going in that direction. And now they've started to come down and come closer together. I don't believe that for 1 second. I can't see anything in Kamala's speeches that indicates that she is doing any better than she was. And I can't see anything in what Trump's doing to suggest he's doing any worse. So again, you need to take these polls with a pinch of salt. I do think there's going to be victory for Trump. Let's see. Good morning, Chris. So 96 hours ago, the price of Bitcoin was at 73,500. We've now come shooting down to 60. What are we at now? 68, 6, something like that. I'm not overly worried. Trump was at 67%. Now, that's not 67% of the votes. That's 67% chance of winning. I think he's got a 60% chance of winning. I know there's a lot of people in comments that watch this after the event saying that it's a 50-50 race. Kamala is more than likely going to win. It could be a lot closer than a lot of people predict, but I still think that he's won key metrics. So his odds have been falling, and as his odds have been falling, so have the price of Bitcoin. It's crazy how correlated the Bitcoin price action is to Trump's election odds. And I think there we go. That was the chart that I saw on Twitter yesterday. So that red line moving to the upside, that is pretty much Donald Trump winning. And then it started to come down as it closed up. And the price of Bitcoin came down at the same time. So we were talking about the DXY having no correlation to the price of Bitcoin. Direct correlation. We can see a direct correlation between Trump and Kamala. That is why it's important to maybe not look in too much depth at the charts, in my opinion. We do obviously want to go over the charts and see where we are, have a look at what Bitcoin is doing, look at the bull market support band, all of those good things. But I don't know. Let's have a look. I've got a few comments in there. We'll go and have a look at them while the chart loads. I think our resident American in chat has commented. It's not there. They put out a push poll in Iowa that made people know why Trump loses Iowa. Now, what's really weird, Eugene, is that comment is not showing up in chat. And I do not know why. I can't see your comment in chat. Unless you deleted it, which is fair enough. But I do think there's key areas that I think she's going to win. Now then, this Bitcoin chart is looking a little bit messy again. I don't know why it's ended up like this, but there we go. So where are we? Let's get rid of that. Okay. We are above lots of key lines. Okay, we're above the 68,000 line. We have had 2 daily closes on it. That's a positive sign. And we are currently now just under 69,000. Potentially, this has been the wobble. Potentially, this has been the wobble. But let's go a bit further in. I think we're going to hold this line. Okay, I think. Unless something dramatic happens and suddenly it shows that Kamala is looking at 60% chance of winning. Where could we come down to? There's loads of areas we can come down to. I mentioned on Friday we've got the bull market support band at 63,200. We could come down there if there was some dramatic news, but I think we're looking up. I don't want to do too much charts. I don't want to talk about the charts too much and talk about too much of the prices, because literally whatever I say is going to be thrown in the bin. All I will say is I think 69,000 at the 4th of November, when the election is on the 5th of November. I think if you'd have offered me that price at any point in the last 6 months, I would have taken it. Let's put it that way. So if we go all the way out, just to show you what we're talking about here, we did wick up to this level, 69.2. If you look where we are now, I mean, we're sitting at the previous all-time high, 24 hours from the election. I would have taken that. Okay, just to put that into context. So again, we're sitting above the range. We're sitting above some key levels of support. I'm positive, but again, the news has a habit of trying to sensationalize things. If we see Kamala potentially winning, then I think we could see some really, really heavy price action. So hold on to your hats. And if I was you, and this isn't financial advice, I would not leverage trade for the next 72 hours. I would probably buy Solana, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, buy the alts that you want to buy, and then I would just dollar cost average in. We showed you the chart on Friday. Thursday is the best day to dollar cost average in. That might very well be the case this week, because Tuesday is the election. Wednesday we're streaming twice. Thursday I've got a day off. Thursday the market always corrects to the downside, so that's the best time to buy. Now, Cardano eyeing $3. Analysts predicting up-and-coming surge amid strategic collaborations. Now, the story that we covered last week was that Cardano could become a layer 2 of Bitcoin. I think that was probably the wrong title that they went with. I think Cardano connecting to the Bitcoin blockchain using Bitcoin OS and using ADA as gas fees, I think that gives Cardano a use case, and a solid use case that it needs. So whereas I would have thought $3 4 weeks ago was probably starting to become overly optimistic, I think if this collaboration and connection up to Bitcoin really does go ahead, and there is a use case for DeFi and all that kind of stuff, and it does tap into some of the Bitcoin liquidity, then Cardano could certainly go way above $3 in the bull run. $4, maybe $5. I've always said $3 to $5. I haven't really changed my opinion on that, although I have kind of started to think that $3 could be the top rather than $5. This could help move. Now, I don't think it's going to go to $3 today or tomorrow, by the way. You're going to have plenty of time to dollar cost average in. The price of Cardano has been below 40 cents for a long time. It did hit 77 cents in March, as this said, but there is a strong possibility that the narrative of Cardano is going to change. The narrative has been it's a zombie chain. Everybody's been saying it's a zombie chain all year. People have been very negative about it, but they have made some big improvements to Cardano this year, as they do every year. And I don't think it's as bad as people make out. And I think we could start to be a little bit more bullish on Cardano. So Mad Maudo has suggested that it could surge to $3. It's not going to happen anytime soon, in my opinion. And it would indicate that ADA is in this multi-year descending triangle. Loads of people talk about this descending triangle. Using the fib retracement indicator, the speculation adds crucial levels to ADA's price. Shows 122 and then 158. He predicts the next stop 193 and then $3.08. Again, I suppose if Cardano gets to $3.08 by the end of this bull run, which is previous all-time highs, I would be fairly content. I think I got my Cardano about 25 to 30 cents maybe. So if we go to $3, I've 10x'd. You could get in now and probably, what's that, 9x from where we are now. I think we're looking that way. I think the news from the news with the Bitcoin collab, I think that's really helped. So the significant factor supporting the outlook is the collaboration between Cardano and Bitcoin ecosystems. Emergo, a primary developer within the Cardano ecosystem, has partnered with Bitcoin OS, aimed at implementing smart contract functionality on the Bitcoin network. That would allow them to tap into the 1.3 trillion. Absolutely. Why is that bullish? Because at the minute, there isn't really a way to unlock the liquidity in Bitcoin. And a lot of the issues lie around security. I would not want to move my Bitcoin from the Bitcoin blockchain onto another blockchain. I wouldn't want to use any of these synthetic versions of Bitcoin that are doing the rounds, the WBTC, the CBTC, there's an SBTC as well, or ZBTC, sorry, on Solana. And I'm not going to go near them for a very long time. I think I said in the video I made about Zeus, I'd give it 6 months. And even then, I wouldn't be using my Bitcoin. I would probably swap Solana into the ZBTC, so the risk wouldn't be on my Bitcoin holdings, but on Solana. Now, again, the narrative can change. If Cardano becomes the first true Bitcoin-friendly or Bitcoin-centric DeFi platform, then yes, the narrative is going to change. Cardano is going to go big time to the upside. But you've got to be careful. You've got to have a certain element of risk management in these things. Reading this news today, you might be super bullish on Cardano. Good. Be bullish on Cardano. But be bullish on Cardano within the limitations of your portfolio. If your bags are packed and you have an allocation of 2.5 or 5% for alts, for example. So let's say you're 30% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, or Ethereum and Solana, and you are 5% in your alts, and you've got your alts down there being the likes of maybe Tron, AVAX, whatever else you've got. If you have an allocation set aside for Cardano, I would hold it. If you do not hold any Cardano, I would look to put 1 or 2% into Cardano, just to hold it on the off chance that it does do a 10 or 15x from here. It's unlikely to hit more than $5. There's probably a 60% chance of it hitting $3. There's probably a 90% chance of going above $2. When this news becomes solidified and we know more about the plans for Bitcoin and Cardano, then yes, I will probably change my price prediction. But I think getting to $3, getting to previous all-time highs, don't forget the number of tokens that have come into circulation over the last 4 years. Getting to $3.10 now would give it a larger market cap than it had 4 years ago. Bear all of those things in mind. So Solana likely to target $200 if it holds current support. Again, something to bear in mind, and I've said this at the start, the caveat on everything I'm talking about is that the election goes as planned. If Kamala comes in, the markets are likely to retreat for a time. Not permanently, but for a time. We will not see a $200 Solana in the next month if Kamala wins. If Trump wins, we are more than likely going to see a $200 Solana by the end of the year. And again, I think my target for the end of the year was maybe $300. And then I think for the end of the bull run, $600 without an ETF, $1,000 with an ETF. So even with Trump coming in, I still don't expect more than a 4x from Solana in this bull run. So if you're coming here expecting me to tell you that everything's going to 20x, you'll be sadly disappointed. So $200 in the next month, certainly if Trump wins. I think we're going to have a big rally in all the markets if Trump wins. So we did get as high as 183. I'm going to bring up this Solana chart in a minute. My support level was on 164, so we're kind of sitting at that price. But 200 is not far away. If you look at the different previous price actions, 164, 184, 200, they're not too far away. 10% here, 8% there. So, Dan, Crypto Trades, I believe he is called. He has said, if we can hold the 160 range, then we're going to look at a rebound. If it can hold it, it would keep Sol's bullish structure intact, creating a potential entry point for investors on the bounce. Sol has managed to hold above the key level of support at 160 despite the market volatility. It certainly has. Sol's been on a bit of a move compared to a lot of coins this year. If you look at the top 10 or top 15, what's outperformed Bitcoin this year so far? I believe it's been Solana and was it Toncoin and Sui maybe? Not many coins have done a lot better than Bitcoin this year. So I think 160 is a good range. Crypto Trades has had to say. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome back to the stream. Remember, smash the like button. Say hello in chat. We do not bite on this channel. We drink coffee, yes, but we don't bite. We certainly don't bite. Although I do not want to see my face on Friday morning if Kamala has won, because I do not know how I am going to try and put a positive spin on that. Right, is this the chart? Yes, okay. So these are the prices that I have got. There's the 184, which we've just been talking about. We can go back up here. And again, this is the weekly chart. What do we have up here? We have that there, where it's kind of 202 rather than $200. We've got the 183 there, which we've just been talking about. We've got the 170 level there. We come all the way down here. We've got the 160. So Solana, ever since it was $30 or $40, we've always talked in kind of whole numbers. We talked about 50, 80, 100. Then it became 125. Then I think it was 152, 164, 184. So there's a nice pattern to lots of these things. So I do think 184 is where we need to get to. We need to get back above there and get this price, which was back in July. Once we take that out, we are up here. But believe you me, it feels like I'm going through the motions. It's like I'm playing a dead rubber. So I've won the league and there's 3 games to go and I've just got to put out a team to play through. That's what it feels like today, because I can't sit here and say with any level of confidence what's going to happen in the markets. So I'm just giving you the targets based on what I think. 184 would be my next target. That would be a 10, 12% move to the upside. And then $200 is a 20% move to the upside. But let's look at the scenario. Trump wins, we go to 184. Okay. Kamala wins. I think we come back down to the bull market support band, which is at 151. That's what I think. Again, I don't know. I'm only giving you the targets. I think I'm very bullish on Solana. If we zoom out on the weekly chart from Solana, I mean, that is pretty bullish. And I don't want to draw this on the weekly chart, but you could squeeze in something there. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you could squeeze something in there like that. Anyway, beside the point. So Solana, I'm very bullish on. If you don't hold Solana, what have you been doing? Go and buy some Solana, not financial advice. If you don't own Bitcoin, what are you doing? Go and buy some Bitcoin. Ethereum, I've shown you on a couple of occasions now, Ethereum is something that has a better first 6 months of the year than second 6 months of the year. So what's that mean? It means that Ethereum in January, February and March will outperform, more than likely, Bitcoin. And it will outperform a lot of other things. And if you take the percentage increase between July and December this year and you compare it to January and June next year, I think you're going to find out that the first half of next year is super bullish for Ethereum. Bear that in mind. I think Tariq has turned up. So when to buy Sol? Now, again, there's an election coming up. And because the election is coming up, it's very difficult for me to say, Salah, if you held me against a wall, Tariq, and you threatened to force tequila down my neck, I would say buying it now. Okay, but that's my personal opinion, not the opinion of wherever you're watching this stream. I think this is the best time. It's de-risked. So we were at 183, we're now at 162. But in the next 24 to 48 hours, we could wick to 150. I don't know. We could wick to 180. I don't know. But now, at this price, if we're talking about a $200 Solana and we're at 160, that's probably a 25% move to the upside. So you could make a quick 25% over the next 6 weeks, maybe, without even using leverage. So again, I'm 90% certain we're going to have a positive outcome. I'm 10% certain that we're not. Again, I don't like trading these. We've also got, I believe, this week as well, something else to mention that I've forgotten about. I think we've got a rate cut coming up, don't we? I think Thursday, is there not a Fed interest rate decision this week? I think there is. So if that happens as well, that happens on Thursday. I mean, listen, if we get 0.5% rate cut on Thursday and Trump is confirmed the president of America on Thursday, we're going to see, we're just going to have a really solid few days, massive green candles. But again, if we get 0 or 0.25% rate cuts and Kamala wins, we're not going to see anywhere near the green candles that we want to see with a Trump win. So it's hard to say, Tariq, but in answer to your question, I'd be buying it now. So that's what I would be doing. Anyway, one thing we haven't mentioned on here, which is FET. Not mentioned it in ages. Ever since the merger went ahead and they became ASI, there's now 4 tokens involved, as well as FET and Singularity and Oceans. Is it Kudos or one of those coins is also in the team now? Top reasons why a bullish reversal is imminent. Listen, there is no reason for FET to be in such a low position. We did have a pretty big run up. I'll go through it in a minute. We're down 14% over the last couple of weeks, but again, that's not too bad. It did get to 134. It was below $1. I think it went below $1. We had a really good rally to 134. I believe this is a $5 token, okay? And we're nowhere near that. We're 25% of that, aren't we? So I think we're looking at a $5 token before the end of the bull run. That's not a $5 token for the end of the bull run. Just because AI is not in the news, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be bullish on it. AI tokens are very, very new. They are they're kind of like a new asset class within crypto. Yes, in some cases they've been around for 18 months and 2 years, whatever else it might be. But they are on the cutting edge of what everybody's now talking about, AI. You know, we've got X has Grok, Microsoft, Apple, Google, they've all got their own AI products. Gaming, Nvidia, they're going to be using AI more and more. So it's the latest frontier. Okay, I don't think people understand just how different a world it's going to be in 10 years' time compared to now with AI. And these tokens that we've got here, Singularity, FET, and Oceans, and the other one that joined the hub, they're the biggest independent AI project in crypto, okay? Near was an AI project before it became a crypto project. Render has partnerships with Apple. Don't fade AI for this bull run. If you don't hold any AI tokens, you should at least look at Near, look at ASI. They call it FET in this article, but the token is called Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance. There you go. Okay, ASI. So you've got to have some AI tokens. Okay, in my opinion, you need to have maybe a 5% allocation in AI tokens. I don't think it's too soon to hold them. I think in the next bull run, they're going to be massive. I think we're certainly going to see a top 15 AI token. Okay, I'm not saying we're going to see a top 10 AI token. It's too far out, but I think we're going to see at least two AI tokens in the top 20. I think that would be ASI, and I think it would be Near, unless something else comes about. But this token is being accumulated. Let's go and have let me go and show you the price action on this token. I think this is something you need to get your hands on. Tariq has made the right decision by half today and the half tomorrow. I think that's the right call, Tariq. That is dollar cost averaging, and that's probably the best thing to do. You could dollar cost average Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. That's also a possibility. Now then, this is the price action of FET. Let's go and have a little look, see where we are. And again, I've held this token now probably nearly 2 years. Okay, the weekly chart on ASI, $3 it reached back in April. So when Bitcoin got to 73,000, ASI got to $3. Now, what happened to the pump this time around? Well, the answer is the same thing that happened to every other token this time around. Nobody really followed Bitcoin when it went back up to 72, 73,000 because Bitcoin was having a party and nobody else was invited, okay? So you will see lots of other tokens that have got this chart that have put in a yearly top here. We've just talked about Cardano at 77 cents. It also topped at this time. So we had a big party in April. Everybody got invited. Bitcoin learned its lesson. It's had a party in October. It didn't invite anybody else. That's simply what it was. It sat there, ate all the sandwiches itself, drank all the champagne itself. Nobody else was allowed in the door. You got the odd one, like Sui snuck in the side door, Sol snuck in the side door, but it was pretty much a party. Now, in a kind of bullishy type of way, we did break through the bull market support band back in the, well, we broke through middle of September, we retested, we hung around, and what did we do? We broke back down. So we are sitting at the bull market support band. I don't think it's going to take a lot for FET to get back above it. And again, my price targets that I've got on here, we need to get back above some key levels. Let's steal that line. I think a next price target for me is going to be around that level there. Try and get back above here and above here, the two recent highs, which is 174. That'd be my target. That's a good 50% away. And I think that's a good 50% move. Trump wins. We're all going to Nirvana. We are all going to Nirvana. In fact, we're all going to head over to Tariq's house for the pump party. I'm sure Tariq's got a big enough garage to put us all up in. So that's where we are with some of the major coins. So we've covered a little bit of Solana, bullish on Solana, bullish on FET. Will be a lot more bullish on ADA once they release a little bit more of the news about Bitcoin OS, how they're going to integrate with Bitcoin. I need to know a little bit more about that. The jitters, again, everything we're talking about now is going to go straight out of the window with a Trump or a Kamala victory. One will move us to the upside, one will move us to the downside. I am very wary about talking too much about price action when we are so close to, it's the biggest event in America in the last 4 years. Since Biden beat Trump in, what was it, 2020? It's the biggest event since. So it's very difficult to sit here and say anything about these charts because, as I said, it's all going to go out the window. Tariq might be getting the bargain of the century today, buying his Solana at 162. It might very well be. Trump might win. We could be at $200 by Friday, okay? And maybe he got 163 and maybe he managed to catch 185 tomorrow. Alternatively, if he's bought today at 162, Kamala looks like winning or does win, and it drops to 150 and he buys at 150. I still think the average buy there of 155 for Solana in the long run is really good value. Like I said, if we go to $600 in the bull run, that's a 4x from here for Tariq. And remember, Solana is the fourth biggest crypto. I think it'll become the third biggest crypto this run. I think it'll overtake BNB. BNB is a solid project, but it doesn't move very quickly. And when it does move, it moves, but then it stops for a very long period of time. I think we'll be lucky to see $1,000, $1,500 in BNB this bull run, but Solana I could see doing a 4x, so Solana would become the third biggest crypto. If it gets its ETF, it's absolutely going to become the third biggest ETF. And as I said last week, the flippening where Ethereum overtakes Bitcoin, throw that in the bin. That narrative is 4, 6, 8 years old. I do think there is a narrative, maybe not this time, maybe the time after, where Solana can flip Ethereum. That's probably more of a flippening event than Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. Everybody can talk about the reasons why Bitcoin is this, that, and the other. It's got institutional adoption. It doesn't matter what you think or say. The big boys in suits and shaven and with more hair, they're all buying the Bitcoin, okay? Get with the narrative. Bitcoin is number one. I can't see anything overthrowing Bitcoin for a very long time, if ever. Nothing's overthrown gold in however long that's been the top dog. Bitcoin has a long way to go and take out gold, okay? Ethereum has its own problems trying to fend off Solana. Now then, Peanut. Have you all heard about Peanut? If you promise me that, you will attend. I certainly, you know what, I'd love to, Tariq. I would absolutely love to. When we end of this bull run, I sell up, I'm going to get on a plane, I'm going to go somewhere, and we'll have a coffee or a tea, mint tea, something like that. Right then, Peanut. We are not going to go through what Peanut is about because it's very sad, okay? Too sad for this channel. It involves a squirrel, TikTok, and a man. We're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on the meme coin. Elon Musk post propels Peanut meme coin market past 120 million. A Solana-based meme coin inspired by a squirrel surged in market cap. Now, I'm putting this in here because, again, like a lot of these meme coins that pop up, they ramp up and then they crash down. Okay, that's it. They go up and they come down. And you, by the time you're reading this article, have missed the pump. So, should you go and buy Peanut today? Probably not, especially given what's happening in the next 24, 48 hours. We don't want to tell the story. We want to tell the story of the meme coin. We don't want to talk about this. We don't want to talk about this. We don't want to talk about this. So Elon Musk posted the story. It became widespread, pushing Peanut's market cap to all-time high of 125 million before the token gave up some of the gains to trade with a market cap of 100 at the time of writing. Now, I don't know how to show you the Peanut chart because I think it's too new and I don't know where it's listed. And I know some exchanges out there don't want me talking about tokens which are not on their exchange, and I fully understand that. But Peanut happened over the weekend, okay? So this is a really quick move. Now, again, there is one chart with Peanut. God knows when it got listed. There's probably hardly any price action on this chart. There we go. Right. So, in true meme coin fashion, you'd be buying here, okay? You are down probably 80%, okay? Anything where you see this narrative, okay? This narrative started on Friday and it finished today. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 days and it's gone, okay? There's lots of other examples. Hoktur, or whatever it was called, that meme coin, that lasted a week, right? A lot of these meme coins that go up, they go up and they get absolutely toasted on the way down. And you do not want to be toast. This is GOAT, okay? Now, GOAT, in its defense, has possibly found a bottom before it goes more to the upside. Yes, there is probably more life in the legs of GOAT. What makes Peanut and GOAT different? Peanut is a meme sensation that revolves around a real life event, which is the squirrel, okay? This, what we're looking at now, is an AI generated meme coin. So it's not based on a real event. It's based on a new narrative, and that is AI generated meme coins. Yes, it ranked. It wicked all the way up to 90 cents. It's come all the way down to 40 cents. But in the few days that we've had, there's a potential that we could see some kind of bottom forming. Okay, oops. We could see some bottoms forming, bottoms even. So maybe we see a move to the upside on Goatsius. And again, if you want to get into some meme coins and you want to get into a narrative, I don't hold any Goatsius, by the way. Not my cup of tea. But this looks like a potential to go to $1, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. But I've been watching the chart. I've been watching the action. There's a few other AI coins. The issue is now that you're going to see 1,000 AI coins, and they're all going to be trash, okay? But some of the OGs, such as Goatsius, it might do quite well in this bull run. It's probably given up most of its market cap as well along the way. So again, not all meme coins are created equally. That is another very important point. I will buy the whole house, not the garage. Also, Mags. Poor Peanut, yes. Exactly. I hope Tariq, yes. Exactly. What we want is Tariq to buy. Want Tariq to buy a house, and then we want him to put all of the disco balls, speakers. We want mirrored walls, wooden flooring. Want a proper nightclub down there, Tariq. That's what we want. Now then, again, last article. I've left myself plenty of time. We've got 10 minutes left, I think. This isn't alpha. This isn't anything that you're going to learn an awful lot from. But from time to time, I do want to point some things out. So over the weekend, I do a 4 in 4 on a Sunday where I look at a blockchain, look at the Kronos chain, and I pick 4 articles or four news bits. And normally 2 or 3 of them are about projects on that blockchain. And the one thing that I don't really say often enough is I don't ever buy those tokens before or after I make those videos. And the only tokens we do have are in the giveaway wallet that I published the address of on X. I can publish it again. You can see what's in that wallet. It's the giveaway wallet, okay? And the reason is that I don't want to be accused of shilling, okay? I don't want to be accused of pumping my own bags by talking about it. And yes, you know, the channel's not big enough yet to be able to do that, but give it a couple of years. If we do get to 40, 50,000 people on a certain platform, if we do get to 200,000 or 300,000 people following us across the different channels, then yes, maybe we can make a difference. But we don't hold any of these tokens. And the reason is that shillfluencers, I call them, that they have a certain terminology that they use. Now, some of these I agree with, some of these I totally disagree with. And one of the things I always say is you don't listen to anybody on the internet and believe them. Don't listen to me or anybody else. What's the reason they are telling you about Goatsy? Or what is the reason they're telling you about Bonk? What's the reason they're telling you about Mew, which obviously is the channel sponsor? Why are they telling you these things? Read behind the lines. Why was Larry Fink saying that crypto was a Ponzi scheme for 4 years, and now it's the greatest asset class of the next 10 years? Why is he saying both of those things? He wants the price down low, so he says it's rubbish, And now he's bought it. He wants the price to go high. So understand why people say things. Lots of people out there, and it's, you know, there's no harm in it. Lots of people will take you on face value. I get that. But that's where they catch you out. So we're going to go through some of the phrases that people use. Do your own research is fairly common. You should do your own research. If the token goes to zero, you're on your own. Quite frankly, you should have done your own research. Translation, when you lose all of your money, it's not my fault. Now, I do agree with that because it's what they do hide behind. Okay, not financial advice, do your own research. But what is absolutely key in crypto is understanding how to do your own research. Very simply put, if you can't explain to me, let's say NEAR protocol, for example. Let's say Tariq goes and buys NEAR. And me and Tariq and I, we go and get into a lift. And that lift goes up 3 floors. And I turn to Tariq in the lift and I say, so Tariq, can you explain NEAR protocol to me? If Tariq can't explain it to me in the time it takes that lift to go up 3 floors, then he needs to go back and do his own research. He needs to go and understand the fundamentals of the project, okay? If Tariq turns around to me and says, Crypto Banter said it's a really good project to be in. Well, if Crypto Banter told you to jump into the sea on January the 1st when it's freezing, would you do that? You wouldn't, would you? Of course you wouldn't. So my version of do your own research is understand at the very basic level what the project is. So if Tariq turns around to me and says, I've got 4 or 5 AI tokens because I want an AI bag, and I think NEAR, I think FET or ASI, I think Render, I think some other AI token is going to do really well because I think there's a narrative behind them and I think they're going to do really well, that's a fair enough answer, okay? I don't expect Tariq to sit there and reel off the names of every individual within NEAR protocol or FET, because I certainly couldn't do that. So do your own research, I agree. It shouldn't be something you hide behind, but it should be something that you do to stop yourself from getting ripped off. Now, not financial advice. This is not a disclaimer. This is something you have to say. If I say, why aren't you holding Bitcoin or Solana in your portfolio? It's my opinion. It's not financial advice. But my opinion is that everybody in crypto that has money in crypto should hold some Bitcoin. That's my opinion. It is not financial advice. Financial advice would be me saying to you, you've got $10,000. You should take $3,000 right now and go and buy Bitcoin. That's financial advice. Me saying you should have a 60-40 portfolio and probably 30% in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and 40% in alts. That is what is a standard portfolio you would have if you were invested in stocks and shares. So again, not financial advice is me not telling you what to buy. It's me giving you an opinion on what I would buy. And again, translation, when you lose all your money, don't sue this off. Fuck. I know that is right. HODL. Okay. It's a misspelling of hold. The price of Bitcoin was incredibly volatile. The poster was encouraging Bitcoiners to hold on to their Bitcoin rather than sell. The post was riddled with other spelling errors like a result of the author being inebriated. So I've had some whiskey. Actually, on the bottle, it's spelled whiskey. That's his address. Anyway, in a zero-sum game such as this, traders can only take your money if you sell. I absolutely agree. And in the last 6 months, if you've been with us since Bitcoin was at, when did we get in? I think we first started making videos in June 2022, 2.5 years ago. And we've seen Bitcoin at $15,000. If you'd held Bitcoin at $15,000 and it went up to 72 and you didn't sell, and then you came on here when we were at 49,000, 51,000 saying it's all a scam, it's all going to zero, I would have said the same thing. You hold through the noise. Follow the Bitcoin pattern, okay? This is correct. Traders can only take your money if you sell. If you want to sell at $50,000, sell. But if you hadn't have sold and you've held to 72,000, you're up 40%. Yes. Now we're down at 68,000, you're still up 35%. If we go to the end of the bull run, get to September, October, and we're $120,000, $130,000 and you decide to sell, by all means, go and do it. but you should probably base your investment thesis on the cycle and the timing rather than the number. I think that would be my advice. So I think HODL is a good piece of advice. I don't think it's a bad piece of advice. I don't know why this is in here. I wouldn't say a shillfluencer telling you to HODL is a bad thing. It might be a bad thing if they're telling you to do it in October next year. Right then. Hello, everybody. Peter, I hope you're well. The only meme I'm keeping an extreme eye on is Crow with Knife. Crow with Knife, that's a project. I've covered that before. Crow is a solid project. Totally agree, Alex. I bought Peanut and sold it and made a profit. Fantastic. That's the name of the game. Take some money. They got Fred the Raccoon also. Yes, they did get Fred the Raccoon also. I pulled out of the game. It's a joke. It's a scam. You guys keep talking about up and down and news about crypto. What a waste of time. Thank you, Peter, for that comment. I'd like you to come back in October and November next year, and then we can have a conversation about that as well. And hopefully you will be proven wrong. We have find safe entry. Okay, so basically, again, I agree with this. Find safe entry. When we've seen these coins running up to new all-time highs, price discovery, that's not the best time to buy a token. Sui is a good example of that. Sui ran to 225. I said, please don't buy this token now. I think it's going to retrace. We got down to, I think, 190, 185, something like that. That's a safe entry. But again, I don't think that that is necessarily bad advice. I think I told you to find a safe entry. It's not my fault you didn't find safe entry. Well, anyway, okay, I don't agree with that. I do agree with telling people that buying in price discovery is the wrong thing to do. If Bitcoin breaks $74,000 at some point in the near future, and it goes 76, 78, 80, 84, 88, 90, and you come in here and say, should I be buying Bitcoin at $90,000? My non-financial advice would be, I would wait for a retracement. It's overheated, it's overbought. We need the RSI to cool off. We need it to come back down towards the bull market support band. I wouldn't be buying at 90. That's my opinion. You can go and do what you want. But if it then runs to 100 and then comes back down to 70, that would be a retracement. And 70 could very well be the safe entry. So again, I don't agree with that. Up only. Anyone who has spent a modicum of time in crypto knows there is no such thing as a token that only goes up. Absolutely. There is no such thing in life, in any stock market, anywhere where there is up only. Nvidia went up only for forever. And then what happened? It had a massive correction. Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes on a big mad run and hits 150,000, you better believe me when I say that that's going to retrace again. Now, where it retraces to is an entirely different conversation. 110, 90, 80, who knows? We're not there yet. But it will retrace. Everything retraces. It becomes overbought. So then the RSI cools down and it retraces. Alternatively, if Bitcoin goes to 15,000 and we start to look towards an 18-month bull run, then it will start to go up. And it will I don't want to say nothing goes down only, because again, that's not true either. There are plenty of tokens that are going to go as close to zero as possible. But Bitcoin does follow a cycle. So up only, I agree. To the moon token, it was a certain 100x. The Schiller hopes it will 100x exactly. It never does. In the heat of the moment, every declaration of to the moon sounds like a former scenario. 99% of the time, it's not. Houston, we have a problem. Again, I would not, I think as a whole, the market will go to the moon over a period of time, but it will also retrace over a period of time. And we're going to have more corrections along the way, and we will have more moons along the way. But to the moon does not mean straight up and to the right. It means we could see a 20% price increase on Bitcoin, and then we could see it retrace 15%. And then we can go another 25% pump, and then it comes down another 15%. So Bitcoin is likely to go up and come down over the next 12 months. But on the whole, it will go to the moon. Buy the dip, again, depending on where you are in the cycle, buying the dip in the bear market the dip keeps dipping. You probably see the meme about it. What happens when you buy the dip and the dip keeps dipping? You've probably seen that before. Buying the dip in the bear market is probably not advisable. You're probably best off waiting for about a year and a half after the all-time high to then start thinking about getting back in. We're going to the moon now. You should have bought the dip. Again, I don't agree with that. So anyway, I don't agree with some of these. I do think they are misused an awful lot by shillfluencers, especially when they hide behind them. They hide behind do your own research and non-financial advice. And I think they have a moral duty to be a bit more honest, which they won't do, of course. Right then. Peter's not happy. Cheer up, Peter. I know you live in Australia, and I know it's like 90 degrees all year round, and I know everything in Australia wants to bite you, but to relax. Melbourne Cup Day tomorrow. Now have the money to put a punt and punt heavy. Have fun. Holy moly, says Mags. Still too early maybe to buy. Buy in a couple of months. Meme coins will outperform normal alts. There we go. Right, it's 12:02. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the stream. I am off out now. I'm going to go for a walk. I have put a video up, by the way. Give me a second. I have reviewed a project called Spectre AI. Spectre AI video is up. It's about 18 minutes, quite a long video. It's basically a do your own research platform. Really, really good. It's got AI in there. You can go and research your own tokens, bookmark your own tokens. It's got the charts, it's got everything. It's a good tool to use outside of the exchange that you're on. So it doesn't compete with the exchange that you're on. It's a tool. For example, you could follow Mew and it would give you all of the tweets about Mew. It would give you the charts about Mew. It would give you the tokenomics, the price action, all those kind of things. So it's a good tool to have to go away and do some research. So with all that being said, I wish you all a great afternoon. I am back tomorrow, as always, at 11 o'clock. Hopefully, Peter will come back tomorrow in a better mood than he's in now. He's obviously very, very mad that his charts haven't pumped. I'll see you all in the morning. I think the Oracle is back tonight. I will let you know tomorrow. Take care. See you soon.